Cornelius Vanderbilt America's first tycoon. In the following video, we will discuss how Cornelius Vanderbilt was the most influential man in the formation of America in the 19th century. With his great skill and concept of capitalism in all his business ventures, he became one of the great tycoons forming the America we know today. We sum this video into 3 stages: early life, steamboat, and railroad industry, and wealth, power, and prime. Vanderbilt was born on May 27, 1794 in Staten Island, New York. He had very little schooling. At the age of 16. He purchased a small sailing vessel where he began transporting freight and passengers between Staten Island and New York City. As New York City began to grow, so did Vanderbilt's business. He soon owned a fleet of schooners, and he personally commanded the largest one. He quickly saw that the steamboats were beginning to take over the trading routes and sold his ships to buy railroads. In 1834, Vanderbilt started a steamboat trading business along the Hudson River. He drove his competition, Daniel Drew, out of business and joined the Albany trade. Daniel Drew challenged Vanderbilt in the Erie stock crisis but was defeated. Vanderbilt's steamboats improved and sailed from all different types of places. He built the largest shipping empire in the world, and people began to call him Commodore Vanderbilt. In 1862, Vanderbilt sold all his steamboats and began buying stock in the New York and Harlem railroads. He invested all he had in the Transcontinental Railroad. By 1867, he had control over many railroad lines. He was an aggressive man who sought out to make railroads more efficient, become richer, and sought to beat out all competitors. In fact, he had complete control over the New York City Bridge, and to show dominance to his competitors and to knock them off the map, he created a blockade that prevented anyone from traveling on this major bridge. This made his competitors bleed dry. They were unable to get to New York and sent them into debt, causing many to sell their stocks. With this, he also gained control of the Hudson River Railroad and the New York City Central Railroad. Beating competition and buying more stocks to control more power in railroad lines, Vanderbilt was becoming the most powerful, rich tycoon in America. He then combines Hudson, Harlem, and New Haven lines and creates Grand Central Station. Vanderbilt now owned the largest rail company in America. By using cutthroat-style business, Cornelius Vanderbilt grows his business into an empire. Owning about 40% of all rail lines in America, including key bridges such as the Albany Bridge, he used the bridge to show his rivals his superior power. Vanderbilt was thought to be weak by rival railroads who saw him as an old man, but by closing the Albany Bridge, he watches his rival fall as he cuts their only entrance into the nation's busiest port. As New York Central falls into his trap, he buys as many shares of their business while everyone is selling, taking them over and raking up more money while seeing how valuable that the New York Central Railroads really is. By being able to see around corners for his advantage, Vanderbilt is the owner of America's largest rail company and the richest man in the nation, with a net worth of over $68 million. Even in his prime, Vanderbilt is not satisfied. After a life of overwhelming success, Vanderbilt died on January 4, 1877, and left most of his business to his son. He will forever be known as one of the greatest tycoons that shaped America in the 19th century. His rise. Invested at a young age into transportation industry, which helped him invest in other companies such as a railroad. Wealth. He was the richest man in the world at the time. His fall. He lived past the average age limit of a man by over 20 years. He eventually gave his son his industry.